Are we live?
We are live. Crazy. Should give them a couple of minutes because we just put the link up.
Yeah. You sat back really far.
Comfy. Do you want to move this closer?
That took a lot more effort than I thought.
Should I set up a bit more professionally?
Yeah, you sat really low. Oh, our unfinished ceiling. Sorry about that. That took about 6 attempts.
Can you tell we haven't ever done it before? Professional. Should wait 2 minutes?
Yeah.
1 minute?
1 minute.
Do you want beer?
Yeah. Beers for the boys.
Double pails for the males.
Ooh, is this one mine?
Yep.
It's got a Welsh pale. We had one of these when we went to Wales for Joe's Christmas do the other day, and we brought some back. Made in, how do you say that?
What, Glamorgan?
Oh,
yeah,
is ours not?
town.
Yeah.
Lantrisant.
Oh.
Right, you ready?
I'm ready. Okay. So we've never done this before. I've got some questions that I saved that are from some of the comments and some that you have messaged us directly. So we're just going to answer them. And if you have any questions, then you can comment, although there's no one watching us at the moment. Okay. So why we bought a boat?
Should we start off with where we were when we decided?
Yeah. Or like even before that, like before pandemic.
Yeah, so we've always fancied small living or
tiny living,
yeah. Off grid, and anything you want to call it, really, just alternative. And we were living in the van at the time in Italy.
No, way before that, like pandemic. Like initially, we were going traveling in 2020. That's how it's sort of
ages ago.
So like April 2020, like we had a round the world trip plan. We were flying to Toronto. We're going to be exploring Canada. Then we were going to do Route 66 before
heading east to west, weren't we?
Yeah, before heading to Australia, where I was going to get a job as a nurse, which is what I do currently. And then COVID obviously happened and just absolutely like obliterated our plans, as it did for a lot of people. So yeah, literally, like we had been planning to do that for a good 2-3 years, like had booked so much, like booked like 6 different flights, like had all of Route 66 planned and booked and paid for. So yeah, then that's when we like have always liked tiny living, and then it brought us to the van, didn't it?
Yeah. And then when we were in Matera in Italy, we were sat in a car park. I don't know if we were joking about the boat or a boat, and I started looking on eBay. And literally, as soon as I started looking on eBay, there was one that's just been listed in Bradford-on-Avon, which is as close as you can get to where we lived at my parents' before, to the canal. So it was in exactly the right location. It was in budget, and we didn't really have a budget, but it was 12,000.
Yeah, it was £12,000. I think that was like sort of our budget. Like we didn't really have a budget, but when I think we've always loved Bradford-on-Avon. Like it's such a lovely walk along the canal and stuff. And then we were definitely talking about it before, but then that one came up, and we really wanted one that was completely empty because we didn't want to have to like rip it all out, especially not having like a skip along the canal. Like that would have been so much harder. Although,
no matter on our budget, no matter what we would have bought, we would have been ripping the interior out anyway. So to have one pre-gutted saved us a lot of time.
Yeah. And when we done the van, we didn't have spray foam, although when we've watched lots of other YouTubers that have done vans, they've paid for someone to do the spray foam. So when we saw the boat, we're like, oh, that's amazing. It's already got spray foam. But as you've seen in the videos, that wasn't the most ideal thing for us, mainly because there wasn't any battens put in. But it's okay. Next. Name of the boat and why. Now, I don't really know why we haven't said the name before, but it's sort of become a thing now, so then we just didn't say it. But we have called it Lady Pennybun. And the name before was...
When we bought the boat, it was called Lancelot. It's quite rare for a boat to be named after a
male.
After a male, yeah. And before that, I'm not sure when it was changed, but when it was built with Jaguar. It was part of a Black Prince hire company. And then somewhere along the line, when it got sold, it got changed to Lancelot. And then when we bought it, we changed the name whilst it's out of the water because it's
meant to be bad luck,
that it's bad luck,
yeah,
to rename a boat once it's in the water. So we renamed it whilst it was out of the water, Lady Pennybun. Like Danny said, it's named after a mushroom. It's sort of one of our favourite mushrooms when we were travelling in the van that we foraged probably only once or twice.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous. It's another name for porcini or cep, depending on what country you come from.
Yeah, we toyed with different names. We had like the Forager because we both like foraging. But yeah, I just really like Lady Pennybun. I thought that was really cute. It's a bit of a mouthful when we've told people, they're a bit like, what? But that's okay. It was just like a real lovely memory for us, like mainly in Sweden, which was just the most incredible country that one of the most incredible countries that we've ever been to, and just being in nature and, foraging. They've got like national parks there that are like free to go and walk around and to forage and stuff. And then, I think the euphoria that we had when we found the mushroom was like incredible. It was such a lovely, yummy mushroom. I definitely recommend.
They're really expensive as well.
Yeah, we'd really like to get it painted and stuff on the outside when we do get it done.
Yeah.
Future goals and plans. So, in regards to the boat, I think
getting the boat finished.
Yeah, actually getting it finished would be great. And also then to just explore. I think we were in quite a rush. Well, not in a rush, but Joe's nearly 30 and we really wanted to get to Australia because we had a working holiday visa, which is what we had from 2020. 30. And it did initially expire at 30, but since Brexit's happened, I think the only positive thing to come out of it is that they've done a separate trade deal. Yeah, so it means that it goes up to 35. So we're not in such a rush to head to Australia now. So that's a good thing. So that's like a plan. But yeah, before that now, I think just to enjoy the boat and just explore Britain by boat. Go to London, I think, first.
Yeah.
Do you think? We've got quite a few friends in London. It'd be really nice to just explore London without like I don't know, like every time you go there, it's always like a sort of touristy trip where it's really expensive, whereas we just like to like go there and sort of live there for a couple of months and explore different boroughs without it being a real touristy holiday.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
And then long-term plans.
We've got a couple projects in mind and a couple sort of different adventures that we'd like to film. I think the next project for us, once the boat's done, we always want to keep the boat based in the UK as our home in the UK. So we're going to try and find a marina that we fall in love with, or we get a space in the marina that we were at for a couple of months.
Or we have a trusting friend.
Yeah, or have a trusting friend that wants to borrow the boat. But it's a lot to ask. And then an abroad project for us is going to be a barn of some sort or a rundown house that we can do up in potentially Italy, Spain, or Portugal at the minute. The main three countries we're looking at, mainly because of budget. And compared to what you can buy in England, you can get such a nice place and land.
Yeah.
And just better weather as well.
Yeah, I think it's definitely more difficult now with Brexit that's happened, whereas before, I know some of you guys are from America and such, like, so we were part of the EU, which means that we could freely live and work in anywhere within the EU. And now since Brexit's happened, we've lost that privilege, which means we can't work there, but we can stay there for up to 3 months out of 6. So we could stay in Italy or wherever for up to 6 months, but it'd have to be split in half.
Yeah.
Although I have recently been listening to some podcasts and I have heard that they're now allowing sort of like digital nomads to have a different visa, because I think before, I don't think governments could really understand, wait, you want to live there, but you can afford it without working there, sort of thing. I think it threw them off. So I think that's definitely becoming a bit more popular, especially in Spain, I believe. But yeah, I think our heart is set on Puglia, which we were in this time last year, actually, weren't we, for Christmas?
Yeah, right down south in Italy in the heel of the boot.
Yeah, really, really beautiful region. If any of you get a chance to go, it's a lot more rugged. It's a lot more like the coastline is incredible, and pretty much everywhere has the coastline because it's such a narrow region. The food is lots of seafood and also like quite vegetarian because it was quite a poor region originally. Yeah, really special.
Yeah,
I've got rid of the questions. What exterior color are we gonna go?
dark green.
Yeah,
It's quite traditional, and we're debating our car Trudy, the little Toyota Sala. We're debating getting a color match done. In which case, we definitely won't ever sell the boat if it's matched to Trudy's green. But somewhere along the lines of like British racing green, to give you a rough idea.
Yeah.
And then the bulkheads, external and external, we're going to do a dazzle camouflage like they used to have. I can't remember if it's British warships in World War II or World War One, but like black and white, bold patterns, front and back. And the roof is going to be white.
Yeah.
Just mainly after spending the summer working on here, it was unbearable. Even with the insulation, it was just so hot. So lighter the roof, the better. So we're going white. It's going to look dirty quite a lot of the year, but will be cool in the summer.
It's definitely worth it. And then I think like have a bit more colour in our outdoor bit here and also at the stern.
Yeah, stern.
At the stern. Maybe some pinks and yellows or something just to jazz it up a little bit. But yeah, and then we really like we're going to paint it ourselves and sand it and prep it because that would just be way out of our budget. And I think it'd be nice to learn as well. We've done everything so far.
Yeah.
But we'd love someone professional to come and paint
sign
the
writer.
sign.
Yeah, get a professional sign writer. I think that'll make it.
Yeah, some people get like the stickers and that looks good, doesn't it? But I think if we can afford it, I'd love that with like maybe some gold foil, but I don't know how that weathers. You know, like just when there's a shadow, I think that'd look really cool. Our jobs. This is a really popular question. So as you see on a lot of the videos, I'm always going off the night shifts. So I'm actually a nurse. I'm a mental health nurse. I work in wards mainly. I've been doing that since, I went to uni from school and college and stuff, but that's all I've done for the past sort of 4 or 5 years. That's been my job.
Yeah.
So that's fun. I do really enjoy it, and it's great in the way that I can like travel with it. I obviously can't work in Europe now, like we were saying, and also being a mental health nurse, a lot of it is communication, and I don't have a second language, unfortunately. But it's something I can do in Australia, and something we were planning to do in Melbourne, and hopefully maybe we will do that again at some point. And your job is
not quite as exciting. So I'll tell you about college really. I initially studied photography. I was really into photography back in my sort of teenage years, and also studied media studies, which is sort of borderline film production and general, I don't know how to explain it really, like digital journalism and stuff like that. And then from college I went and learned about timber, which is really drastically random compared to what I was studying, but I applied loads of jobs. I think quite a few people coming out of college and stuff, they're just not, you think, oh, I'm going to learn this, then I'm going to do that as a job, but there's just not that many opportunities out there unless I was going to go self-employed
or go to uni
as a photographer. And I just didn't really have the oomph really, to be honest. So fancied earning some money, so I did an apprenticeship as a timber trainee. I worked in about 8 different roles as a timber trainee, from in the mill, order picking, stock adjustment, and sales. And then I went into sales a bit more for a couple of years, and then
you've won awards, haven't you? Won like Young Achievers of like the Wood Industry Award or something.
Young Supplier Achiever, and I can't remember what else it was. And then from there, I moved across to a builder's merchant, so I learned a lot more opposed to timber. That was my strength, but I learned about general building and whatnot, which has really helped. I did that for about 5 years, I think, 4 years.
Definitely helped with materials and stuff and knowing what to get.
Yeah, it's been so handy with building. Obviously, the majority of the building here is timber anyway, but learning a bit about plumbing, a bit about electrical and stuff. Learned a lot from YouTube, funnily enough. And when I did the van, we did the Sprinter, I actually did a little T4 years ago and did some really dodgy wiring in that. Learned a lot on the Sprinter, and then I'm applying that now on the boat.
I think if we didn't do the van first, I think this would have been it is overwhelming anyway at times. Like, it's definitely a lot better now. Gary's helped, bless him, like putting the stud walls up and stuff and being able to see what our visions are, like, you know, how big the room's going to be and where we're going to shape it to. That's definitely helped. But yeah, it's very overwhelming otherwise. But your dream job, when we went to Sweden, you looked at all the log going past, didn't you, and going to Canada.
I still get excited about timber. It's really strange. I really want to drive one of the timber lorries one day. I might do a test. Might do my HGV.
How many tons are they with all of the
a normal
like the ones we saw in
the twin, like the wagon and drag ones? I reckon you're looking at like 50-60 tons of timber.
Wow.
A normal Arctic carry about 40 tons, and they're bigger again. So yeah, 50-60, maybe a bit more.
That's a lot. Budget.
Lack of
budget. So, as you said earlier, the boat cost us 12.
The boat cost us 12 grand, and straight away, or near enough straight away, it was £1,000 roughly for the hatches that Kev put in. One there, and that one there, and then another £1,000 for the water tank behind me there. So about 14 grand for that.
We've also, so if you're not familiar, I don't know if many of you actually have boats in Britain, but so you have to pay for, so obviously the boat, and then you have your Canal and River Trust license.
Yeah, which is 900 a year.
Yeah, so 900 a year. That's done per foot, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's based on the longer your boat is, the more expensive it is. Ours works out about 900 quid for a year.
Which
discount
because
you pay it. We paid it out right as well, rather than monthly, so you save a bit. And that includes water, bins. It's almost like a council tax.
Yeah,
that's how I imagine it. It's cheaper than a council tax. So, because we're continuous cruising, i.e., moving every 2 weeks, apart from when we're in the marina, that is basically your only cost really, apart from diesel and coal and firewood.
Yeah.
You pay insurance, which is dirt cheap. That's £200 a year.
Craft insure.
And what else is it? Oh,
every
BSS,
4 years.
BSS certificate every 4 years. And surveyed.
That's not too expensive unless there's something really wrong with your boat, is there?
No. And then surveyed, I think,
again, that's
when
not
you sell it, really, when you buy a tow boat, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, that costs as much as it costs. In terms of what we spent so far in the build, you're probably looking easily another £1,000 or so on timber so far.
I was going to say that's all. How much do you think overall? So say the boat with those two big things with 14.
Yeah, plus another, 2,000 on electrical so far. We've bought solar panels, we bought an inverter and stuff that you haven't seen yet. That's going in soon. Maurice, one of our patrons, very kindly donated a solar charge controller and a smart shunt. So that saved us like hundreds. That was really appreciated.
We've also
a fridge. It was expensive, £600. I think we're probably pushing 20,000. I would say roughly.
We're very skint at the moment, but once we've done all of that, and then I'm still working,
we're living mortgage free.
Yeah, that was the dream, really, to not have to worry about a mortgage. Like Joe says, obviously we're still paying the not council tax, but that's how we envision it, which any house does, whether you're rented or you've got your own house. So yeah, it's definitely a cheaper way of living. I know it's not for everyone, but
there's a lot of maintenance and stuff.
Yeah,
but hopefully, touch wood, plenty of it built. Once the boat's all up together, like Danny said, we should be able to live relatively cheaply. We're gonna have most of our electricity is generated by solar, so we shouldn't have to pay for hookups and stuff like that, like a lot of people do. Water is free.
It's really nice being in a marina. I think I'm glad we had a chance to experience it. But you do just get comfortable. Like, I'm not saying never, because we definitely will get a marina one day.
Yeah,
but it
especially
is
when we plan
just
to travel again and leaving the boat.
Just like at the moment it's hard because obviously we're bringing lots of materials and stuff over, but to be able to park your car and not have to like bring all your stuff along the towpath is just like a dream, really. So yeah, we're excited to see like some different marinas and stuff, because that's the only one we've been to, really.
Yeah, some look beautiful.
Yeah, some of them up north look incredible. They
and
look massive.
Around here they're generally quite expensive on the Kennet and Avon, especially around this area, and the closer you get to London as well, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think some places further up north you can probably pay about 150, 200 pounds a month.
And that's still not bad though, really, when you think of, I know
it's a big old parking space, isn't it?
Like rent and stuff. I know it varies from country and region and everything like that, but yeah.
So if you think you still have to, when you're in a marina, you still have to pay your canal and river license, about £100. So
we didn't think you did, but we've seen loads of the guys
they
come around.
They come around and check it.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't get out of it that easy. But I don't even know what the question was. Oh yeah, budget. So we never really had a budget. We had a budget when we bought the boat, and we definitely did well with that. But yeah, we've gone into our traveling fund now, which we didn't really want to do, but hopefully we can work that back up. We hope to come to America next year, and at the moment obviously the borders are open, but with everything going on at the moment, we're remaining hopeful, but we're not going to be too sad. It'll be nice to be on our boat in the summer, because when we had Mabel the van, we enjoyed it in the winter. Although we went to the south of Europe, it was still
cold.
Yeah, it was still quite cold, to be fair. And again, it's now winter and we've got the boat, but yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah.
And when we hope to be finished, well, we bought the boat on Pancake Day. It went in the water, so that is in February.
And then it was about a month we didn't do a lot because we still had the van.
Yeah.
So I was tightening the van up, getting that ready to sell. So when was that? When's Pancake Day?
March. No, February.
So it was about March we started. March, April, May, June, July,
I wanted it done by my birthday.
October, November, December. We're on month 10 at the minute.
I wanted it done by my birthday in June. That was very ambitious of me. It had a floor. That was great. If we could stay on it now, and we have stayed on it a couple of nights.
The next thing is going to be running water and gas for the cooker, and then it's all starting to take shape now. And like Danny said, we could live on here somewhat comfortably at the minute.
We've got a toilet. We've got
really
heat.
Going to change it.
Yeah, once you've got running water, definitely make it a lot easier. At the moment, every time we cook, we're still taking it home to wash up. Although we could wash it up here with boiling water and stuff. It's just a lot of effort, really. So yeah, it would be a lot nicer once that's in. But we definitely could live in it now. It's just still so much timber and everything dotted about. It's hard to I keep bringing soft furnishings around, and
you keep getting in the way. Like the mattress shouldn't have come on quite yet, but here
it's comfy though, isn't it?
It is comfortable, yeah.
Oh, and someone asked us, I haven't put on here, our favourite tea, but I'll put that as favourite tea and favourite drink, I'd say. So I'd say your favourite is
favourite tea.
Yeah, someone asked us what our favourite tea is.
English breakfast.
We are always drinking
I'm quite
tea.
Boring, yeah.
Yeah, I like English breakfast.
English breakfast or mint
with oat milk.
Or mint if we're in Morocco. Moroccan mint tea.
That's just sugar. just sugar, minty syrup.
And coffee, I tend to drink flat white.
I would say my favourite tea, I always have lemon and ginger. And yeah, just English breakfast is pretty good.
Classic.
What about your favourite drink?
Favourite drink, bitter, beer.
Brand?
Most ales. Favourite. It normally toss up between Buckham, which is local, and Bath Ales Gem, which is also local.
They're both very local. I definitely recommend.
Swinging more towards Bath Ales Gem.
Yeah.
We did a factory tour, and they don't pasteurise their beer or anything. And yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, it was really nice.
This is good as well.
Yeah, this is nice. Got this in Wales. Now I'm working in Wales. I'll be able to get some more.
You better explain yourself, Bill. working away as well.
Yeah. So Joe is obviously in the video a lot more than me, mainly because he knows what he's doing and I'm just to tag along. But
Not true.
yeah, I do night shifts, which means like when I'm sleeping and stuff is impossible for me to be here because where I was working previously is quite far away from where the boat is at the moment. So I've recently gone onto an agency. So I'm sort of here, there and everywhere really. But at the moment I've got a block booking in Wales. So when I'm going to be there, I'm going to be doing 3 or 4 days. So I'll just stay there because it's quite a long
It's
drive.
about an hour and a half each way.
Yeah.
For you, Eunice.
And for me to do 12-hour days and then come back when I can just stay there, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, in January you might not see me for
that's
for
going
a
to
little
help
bit
with the budget.
Yeah,
or what budget we didn't
need
have.
yeah, we need a bit more money to
That's
finish
mainly
this
to
boat.
save for us for our next projects.
Yeah. What other plans have we got? So obviously we've said about us we definitely want to do another van, I think, as well.
Yeah, we're going to do another van. So before we look at a barn abroad, we're going to convert another van, like a Sprinter size.
Yeah.
But one that's going to be able to convert into a van so that when we do find a barn, I can use it to transport materials. So that'd be an interesting little project where everything's removable, including the cooker and toilet and stuff.
Yeah.
Before that, whilst Danny's going to be away for like 4 days a week, once the boat's closer to completion, or
once
even
the boat's completed,
or once the boat's done and I'm living on here, just to give, because I assume a lot of people quite actually like the working aspect. I know some people are looking forward to us cruising, exploring UK. The Berlingo that we've been driving, Barry, where I might put a little conversion in him, some solar and stuff. Just do a couple little videos like that, just to show another side, really.
Yeah.
And just I quite enjoy doing it, to be honest, and just be nice.
It's nice learning, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
a lot of you guys have come over to our channel from us having the narrowboat, and like we said, we do want to keep the narrowboat as our main home in the UK.
Yeah.
But we did have the van first, and we really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's completely different. I'm looking forward to exploring on the boat at a much slower pace.
Yeah.
With the van, you could be, well, we drove through like 2 or 3 countries in a day. I mean, we
Yeah.
hot-footed between France, Belgium, Germany, and then up to Denmark, whereas in the boat would be Somerset, Wiltshire, or not even Somerset, Wiltshire.
It'll be slow.
Oxford. Yeah, it's going to take
We'd
ages.
love a Vespa on the back as well. When we went
Yeah.
to Rome, we had the most fun of hiring a Vespa.
Yeah.
And me just being on the back. I've never smiled so much with Joe's driving, so it'd be great to
Yeah.
maybe get one of them and have it like attached to the back, because although at the moment, once the boat's done and whilst I'm still working on the agency quite frequently, I am going to be traveling with the car, which isn't something we wanted to do, but it just makes sense to begin with. I
Yeah.
mean, once we're further up north or even closer to London, then that's not going to be an option for
Yeah.
us. I know some people do it, but I don't know if we can be bothered to, like, all the stress of trying to find a parking space every time you move, as well as walking back or whatever to go and get it. It's just a lot, isn't it?
Especially, hopefully, we're having a washing machine on here, so we should be fairly self-contained. Main thing would be going picking up gas, but there's like fuel boats that come up and down. They're really well organised.
Yeah.
There's one that goes along here. They've just got new owners.
Yeah.
We probably need to speak to them about getting some gas soon, because
we haven't got any bottles, but everywhe's
there's a shortage of gas as well. Cala's got a shortage, and the other companies that do bottled gas.
Is that in every country or just us?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't think the gas is a problem, it's the bottles.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's it. Cheers.
Cheers, and thank you so much to everyone on our Patreon.
Thank
it
you.
Means a lot.
It
really does. Hopefully one day we'll be full-time YouTube.
I'll still be a nurse.
Danny's still going to be a nurse, because
you're just going to be a little house husband.
Yeah, I'm going to be a house husband.
Joe's really good at baking bread. We're
going to get back into baking.
It'll just be nice. Like, I am going to miss the build, but it will be nice just of a day off to be able to just chill and
enjoy the canal.
Yeah.
It's hard now trying to enjoy your surroundings when there's like so many projects going on within this project. It'd just be nice to take a step back and enjoy it.
Yeah. And see you tomorrow. Our video's up tomorrow. Maybe 3 o'clock. We try and aim for about 3.
It's normally 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
GMT.
What does that mean?
Greenwich Mean Time. It's a place in London. It's based on that part of that.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.